And welcome now to the Feyenoord Stadium in Rotterdam for the second leg of the UEFA Cup final between Feyenoord and Tottenham Hotspur. You've missed just 3 minutes of the match. No goals and indeed no real incidents of note. The sides showing only one change from the teams that drew 2-2 at White Hart Lane. Van Hanegem, the Dutch international, is suspended, and so the Yugoslav international, Rameljak, has come into the Feyenoord side. Tottenham all over their injury troubles, and that's a good catch by Pat Jennings. Tottenham kicking from left to right in their change strip, yellow shirts and blue shorts. Phil Beale, a cloudless night, quite a lot of wind outside, but in this packed bowl of a stadium, very little effect from the wind. The flags on the corners absolutely still. Pitch surface good. Rijsbergen, knocked down by Christensen to Van Dalen. Janssen. Schoonmaker tucking it through. Wrestle. Janssen. De Jong, who scored that vital equaliser at White Hart Lane. Little nod on by Schoonmaker. Comes through to Jennings. I'll try and wait till I see it. Referee in the middle of that picture is Concetto Lobello from Italy, 50 years old, and making his final bow as an international referee. Now a Christian Democrat representative in the Italian Parliament flies from here to Moscow with his Italian Minister for Sport to negotiate an exchange deal with the Russians. A little bit of history, Mr. Lobello has running the line tonight his son. And Mr. Lobello at the moment giving free kicks mostly in favour of Feyenoord. This one to be taken by Van Dalen, who today heard that he'd been dropped from the Dutch World Cup squad. And the size of Tottenham's task tonight, because away goals count double in the event of the scores ending level, is that they must either win or achieve a high-scoring draw. Janssen, Schoonmaker the danger man, 10 goals in this competition so far, put out of play by England. Rijsbergen taking the throw to Vos. Christensen waiting on the touchline, number 11. Tried to put Vos through, but too hard. Phil Beale recovered from his ankle injury. Rijsbergen's throw. Schoonmaker. Janssen back to De Jong. Wrestle. Israel. Van Dalen. Israel again. Very much the tactics that we saw from Feyenoord at White Hart Lane. Ability to control and contain and then suddenly sling the through ball. Perryman pushing it on for McGrath. Chivers is in the middle on his own. Kept in play. Rijsbergen giving it back by Israel. And good harrying by the young Irishman McGrath. There's an incident off the ball there, which the crowd didn't like. Schoonmaker. Given away to Coates. Peters and Chivers ahead of him, and a break down the right by Evans. Number 2. Christensen coming back to pick up for Feyenoord. Nicely timed ball from Dale, finding Ressel. Janssen outside him. This is Janssen. Good deep cross for Schoonmaker, but England was up above him. Foul given against Schoonmaker. Feyenoord moving out for the offside. And that'll be the goalkeepers, but it's a chase. And he's missed it. Now then, can McGrath get there? Will it go in? Yes, it has. But has the whistle gone first? There'd been some kind of infringement before that. I didn't see what it was. But the Feyenoord players had stopped. Good cool bit of play by young McGrath, the youngest player on the field at 19. Ramuljak, the Yugoslav international, offside. De Jong timed his break wrongly, just a fraction too soon. There's a push in the back by Israel. Perryman. Evans with Coates to help him. Naylor. Feyenoord streaming out to catch Spurs offside, and again they come away on the break. Ressel giving it to Schoonmaker. Ressel stayed up asking for the return pass, which didn't come. This is Ramuljak. That's deep for Jennings to catch, and a beautiful catch it was too. Chivers settling for the throw-in. Evans, Coates. This is Vandala. Schoonmaker. De Jong just flicking it into the space, and Vandala didn't beat Perryman, but the ball ran loose. And Feyenoord now have control. Ramuljak. Joop Vandala. De Jong is on a run through the middle, but he didn't get the pass. Beautifully pulled down by Janssen. The linesman flagged for something then, but Jennings was down to beat out the shot as Ressel went through. Mr. Lobello having words with Peters, who I suspect was drawing his attention to the flag. And now he's calling Martin Peters back to him. And Peters indeed pointing to the linesman. Chivers to Perryman, and on for Coates. Good run by Ralph Coates. He's lost it now. No signal. Yes, there is now. And a free kick given to Spurs, although it certainly looked as though that ball went out of play from our position. But Ray Evans to take the free kick. England in his customary position, deep at the back of the penalty area, ready to launch himself on a run. In he comes now. Peters. Good jump by Peters, and no real challenge. but he put it a couple of feet over. Pratt came too far under it. Naylor. Foul has been given anyway. Mike England will drive Spurs forward again. Chivers for Coates. Voss's tackle. Carried into a mistake by Coates. Chivers. Cleared by Voss. Nodded back in by Perryman. Voss taking no chances. Evans. McGrath got up but not high enough. And now Feyenoord to try again on the break through Janssen to wrestle. De Jong there in the middle. That's a header away by Beale. And now it's anybody's. Coates. A flick on, but Van Dalen will get it back to Triton. Rijsbergen. Jennings very fast out to see the danger as Wrestle came through. Pratt finding Peters. Ramelyak along the line to Janssen. Foul. Wrestle and De Jong and Schoonmaker in the penalty area. Christensen and Voss just outside it. Ramelyak to take the free kick. McGrath a bare 10 yards away from the ball, so Ramelyak takes it back another yard. McGrath advances a yard. Referee still wants it further back. Now everybody's happy. Ramelyak. Jennings changes his mind about coming out, and England was fouled, and it's a free kick to Spurs. Good header on by McGrath. Van Dalen deliberately slicing that out to the left for Christensen. Voss outside him now. And flipped through well for Israel to Schoonmaker. Good determined work there by England. Coates. Israel coming to challenge him. McGrath has made something available to him outside him, and over goes Coates. Israel penalised, free kick to Spurs. Now, it was from a position very like this that Mike England scored Tottenham's first goal at White Hart Lane, but this time it's Peters! Just wide, but only just. So a let-off for Feyenoord and a kick to be taken by Triton. Naylor beaten by Wrestle. Janssen outside him. Cleaned up by Pratt. Rijsbergen didn't make contact. Rameljak back to his goalkeeper. Phil Beale. On for Peters. Too far. Rijsbergen's throw to Van Dale. Wrestle. Van Dale again. And wrestle. Holding by Terry Naylor. Gives a free kick to Feyenoord. Schoonmaker on the penalty spot with Mike England beside him as the kick comes over, but it's aimed for De Jong. Now for Schoonmaker, but the whistle has gone. Crowd making so much noise, they don't hear the referee's whistle a lot of the time. Peters header on. Van Dale. England. Peters. Perryman. Chivers. That'll be Voss for Feyenoord. Christensen. Coates barged him off it unfairly. Voss. Schoonmaker just playing it down for Christensen. Janssen. That's Rijsbergen. Schoonmaker's shot was blocked. And Christensen hobbling away from a tackle. Really looking very unhappy. Chivers. Header by Rameljak. Kept in by Israel, but out now. Both sides appealing for the throw. The linesman somewhat tentatively giving it to Feyenoord. Rameljak. Coates finding Perryman. McGrath. Peters. Crowd thought that was a dive. Mr. Labello thought it was a foul. And Spurs have a free kick in a very interesting position. 3 men in the wall. Now 5. Treitel in the middle of his goal. It's not really clear whether they're covering one upright or not, but just chipped over for Perryman. Outside. And I didn't see a flag go up. I think that would have been a goal if Perryman could have turned it in. But as you see, just pushed it outside. Wrestle. Janssen to help him. And Rameljak. Wrestle. Down he goes. The linesman has flagged, I think, for a free kick. Naylor much too close to the ball. Just by his fingertips, and it's in. Scored by Rijsbergen. It all comes from the free kick, driven deep, and Jennings goes for it one-handed, but it's drifting away from him all the time. He just palms it to Rijsbergen, and the number 2's header now evades all those stretching feet. What an agony there for Beale, as he just fails to make contact. There's the scorer, Wim Rijsbergen. And that's 1-0 advantage now. A powerful position for Feyenoord, just a couple of minutes before half-time. Absolute tragedy for Spurs, who've attacked with heart and determination. Van Dala. Rijsbergen bundled over by Perryman. Rameljak. And that's Russell going through, and Jennings got a leg in the way. Spurs inevitably vulnerable on the break. Pratt. Perryman there with him, and Peters. Peters up for the header. Pratt has run it out of play. Rijsbergen to De Jong, Janssen, Wrestle, and now Coates. Peters to his left, Chivers to his right, and Coates goes on. And as the challenge goes in, it's unfair, and it'll be a free kick to Spurs, just about 5 yards outside the Feyenoord penalty area. Chivers placing it. They've been pulled back quite a long way. Chivers hammers one, and off the wall it rebounds. Good control by Van Dala. And that's the half-time whistle, and well those Spurs have played. They had to commit themselves to attack, and in the end, it wasn't a break that caught them, but a dead ball situation from which Rijsbergen headed the goal, which makes Tottenham's task enormous. They must now score twice and keep out Feyenoord in the second half. We hope you'll be back again to join us in a few moments. Sorry to say that during this half-time we've had some disgraceful crowd scenes here, with spectators ripping up seats on the top tier and throwing debris over onto the crowd beneath them. The Tottenham chairman, who had appealed before the game over the public address system for good behaviour, came onto the loudspeakers again and addressed the Tottenham fans and said, "You are disgracing yourselves as Tottenham supporters, you are disgracing the British people." And he went on to add that the Tottenham club would undoubtedly face the possibility of a heavy fine. The police are now moving in and trying to clear that area. From where we sit, this is out of our sight. We can only see what the cameras show you now, and it's impossible to say supporters of which side are in fact responsible. And while the fighting on the terraces continues, Bill Nicholson, the Tottenham manager, broadcasts an appeal. Well, it's a long time since I've heard Bill Nicholson sound quite as angry as he did then. You hooligans are a disgrace to the game. You are a disgrace to England, were his words. And one can't help feeling that they were absolutely true. 1-0 to Feyenoord, and Tottenham must score at least twice. This is Ramaliak, wrestle number 8. Peters. Neat bit of play by Perryman, but he lost it in the end. Driven forward by England. Header by Voss. Peters to Evans. For McGrath. Pratt. Perryman. Feyenoord moving out to the offside, and they've caught Ralph Coates. England's header to Peters. Perryman stab forward for Chivers. Evans. McGrath breasting it down for Pratt. De Jong for Feyenoord. Van Dalen. Wrestle. Ramaliak. De Jong. It's Janssen. Nice running by Ramaliak, and a good bit of alert covering by Coates, even at the expense of a corner. This is the 3rd year of the UEFA Cup. Tottenham have been in it each time and have never been beaten on aggregate over 2 legs. They won the competition the first year, went out the second year to Liverpool on the away goals rule when the scores ended level. Ramaliak dispossessed by Naylor. Evans. Pratt. Evans coming again. Pratt again. Christensen. The Schoonmaker to chase, but England there sooner. Pratt. And Feyenoord now can afford to take their time. Peters going up, but he had Reisbergen with him. Janssen. Reisbergen for Christensen. Christensen going on, now Schoonmaker. And it's against the post and outside. Good setup here by Christensen, the Danish international. Just on the edge of the picture, waiting all the time is Schoonmaker. one stride, and that right foot shot goes away and beats Jennings, but Cannon's outside from the post. McGrath. Christensen to wrestle. Janssen. Ramaliak outside him. Christensen tucking it through for Wrestle. Wrestle tried to hook it over the head of Jennings, but the attentions of Naylor were enough to put him off. Peters. Meant for Chivers, but cut out by Ramaliak. De Jong to Janssen. Schoonmaker chasing, but England with Jennings coming to meet him. McGrath, taken away from him by Rijsbergen. Wrestle. Referee allows play to go on. Schoonmaker tucks it through. De Jong chasing, but Jennings is safely there. John Pratt to Evans. Perryman. Peters. Nice ball through, meant for Chivers, but cut out with by somebody with his hand. Peters takes the free kick and Tritel has it covered. Worth trying. The ball was dead. England's header, and he was leaning on Schoonmaker. Janssen driving it forward, De Jong going after it. Can he hold off Pratt? Pratt has jockeyed him out to the edge of the area. Now Christensen, such brilliant control in a tight situation that Spurs had a man too many for him. So we've got half an hour left, and on aggregate, Feyenoord lead 3-2, and that means that Spurs must score at least twice if they're to win this UEFA Cup. Pratt wins, and it's a throw-in. Tremendous shot there from Wrestle. Coates. Beale to Perryman. Beale. Feyenoord coming out for the offside. Tottenham tried to take it on. And there was an incident off the ball which the referee spotted when Evans was pulled back. And it's a free kick just outside the area. Evans wants the ball. So Spurs have a free kick with 9 men forward. Beale, the only man covering Jennings, and he's well 15 yards inside the area, inside the half, as Chivers goes for the header, but didn't really make contact. Spurs are appealing for a penalty. What has now been given? Now, what have we got here? Mr. Lobello taking charge in a very calm and measured fashion. It looks as though it's going to be an indirect free kick, which will force Feyenoord back onto their goal line. They will have to go right back onto the line. It can't be direct. And Evans put it well over. But I think the referee may be going to have the kick taken again, because Feyenoord broke before the ball was kicked. They're all coming out, but the ball has been played by then. The line must go right back on that goal line. They can't be the full 10 yards back. They must stay in play, but they must go back as far as they can. So Spurs will try again. Peters standing over the ball. Pull back for Chivers. But the cavalry charge did the trick. It's an almost impossible situation from which to score. McGrath. Coates. Peters. McGrath tried but couldn't succeed. Janssen. Been an absolute Trojan for Feyenoord. Christensen. And that's Vandala again coming forward. Christensen. Still Christensen with De Jong in the middle. De Jong's header turned over by Jennings. Christensen always a threat down that left flank. Beale trying to jockey him, and Christensen a little bit lucky to get the rebound, but how well he uses it. De Jong going up, and the header going in under the bar until Jennings acrobatically turned it over. So we've had two substitutions now. Phil Holder has gone on for Spurs, and Boskamp for Feyenoord. And John Pratt is the Tottenham player who's come off, and I think it's probably Rijsbergen who has come off for Feyenoord. Pratt has come off. Holder just inside the post as Feyenoord shaped to take the corner. Ramoliak. And Holder gets it away. Tucked through again for De Jong. Schoonmaker was poaching, but kept out of it by Evans. Just under 12 minutes left now. England. Holder. Perryman. And Perryman brought down from behind by the substitute, Boskamp. Holder. Out to Naylor. Put out a play by Russell. Chivers is going to take a long throw. Aim for Peters, and there's a lot of jockeying going on there. Can Coates get a foot in? Great save by the goalkeeper. Really acrobatic dive by Trifle as Coates stabbed out a foot. It began with this long throw from Chivers. A bit of pushing going on there, but I think Peters got the nod. And as Coates goes for the stab, it was a left hand only by the keeper. Holder leaving it, and it caught Naylor. Boskamp, the two substitutes clashing, and Boskamp wins. Christensen. De Jong setting himself for the shot, and it's just outside. Turned there, I think, by Jennings. Certainly Janssen thought so, but Mr. Lobello didn't. Christensen was on his way over to take the corner. Here's the attempt again. There's the shot, and it certainly looked as though Jennings got a hand to it. England. Fouled by Schoonmaker. Evans. Peters. It's Rameliak's clearance. England. That's De Jong, and Schoonmaker in the middle, and wrestle deep. Knocked back for Boskamp, the substitute. Wrestle with a chance to shoot, and he scored! And that wraps it up. Wrestle has done it. De Jong making the break down the left. Wrestle was free here. This time he heads it back. And when he gets the return pass from Boskamp, the substitute, he's completely free. And although Jennings has narrowed the angle, Boskamp found the inside of the far net. 2-0, and it's all over now. And Peters brought down and his feet come up, and Boskamp got one in the face. Peters holding his knee. There was a little flare-up, but it's all calm again now. I think it was Boskamp, the substitute, who got the knock. Here's the incident again. Boskamp comes through behind, and Peters' right foot comes round, and down goes Boskamp holding his face. The original tackle was from behind, and whether that was an instinctive reaction from Peters or whether it was something he couldn't control as the force of the fall swung his right leg round is difficult to say. But it was certainly a nasty-looking incident. Certainly the Feyenoord players are in no mood to accept apologies from Tottenham over it. But Boskamp is back on his feet. The first aid men have been waved away. So perhaps it wasn't quite as bad as it looked. Mr. Lobello quite rightly giving the free kick to Tottenham because the original infringement was by Boskamp, and Feyenoord have taken the opportunity to make another substitution. They've in fact taken Boskamp off, their first substitute. In the meantime, just under 2 minutes left, unless Mr. Lobello decides to add something on. Hold on. Perriman's shot, covered by Trifle. Feyenoord now have Verion substituting for Boskamp, who was their original substitute. He was the victim of that clash with Peters. By my watch, a minute to go. Linesman flagged for offside, and Spurs venture in Europe ending on the ground where 11 years ago they set Europe alight by winning the Cup Winners' Cup, beating Atletico Madrid 5-1. But there'll be none of the jubilation tonight that Spurs enjoyed then. Feel for handball, and Mr. Labello agrees. Spurs not giving up hope even at the last gasp. 2-0 down, but wanting to take the free kick quickly. Nine is Chivers, 10 over the ball is Peters. Evans just behind him, suggesting that the wall is not far enough back. And all the while, time ticking away. We're now in time that the referee is adding on. Played for Holder. Oh, what a save by Triton! Holder absolutely lashed that. And Triton just flicked it over the bar as though he was brushing off a fly. There's the wall, there's Holder's shot, and look at that save from Triton. 30 seconds over the 45 minutes. Spurs have a corner, but that save by Triton was the full stop at the end of Tottenham's hopes in Europe this season. And there is the final whistle. Feyenoord, having done the groundwork at White Hart Lane with a 2-2 draw, then forced Tottenham to come out and attack tonight. And attack Tottenham did. They set to with a will, and nobody can fault them for spirit. They matched Feyenoord for skill, but they were inevitably vulnerable on the break. And so they're beaten here by 2-0, and the UEFA Cup for 1974 goes to Feyenoord, winners here by 2-0, and on aggregate 4-2. And the UEFA Cup goes to Feyenoord, who next season will be competing as Dutch champions in the European Cup. They showed us some magnificent attacking football at White Hart Lane and set up the possibility of their success here tonight. And they've really taken it with both hands. Worthy winners, and Spurs worthy runners-up. And it's clearly going to be a long, jubilant night in Rotterdam tonight. Those red and white banners that have waved throughout this game, the klaxons and the horns that have sounded, will be flourished for many hours yet to come. Feyenoord, with a tradition in Europe no less glamorous than Tottenham's. Former winners of the European Cup, winners indeed of the World Club Championship. Eddie Triton, the goalkeeper, leading them now on their lap of honour. And for Spurs, the disappointment of defeat. But they certainly made a full contribution to an engrossing and entertaining game. And now let's try and catch up with some of the stories behind the game.
Martin Peters, obviously a night of considerable disappointment for you. I suppose when you reflect on it, you must feel that the events at White Hart Lane, where Feyenoord got their 2-2 draw, were really important.
Well, obviously we knew we were in a difficult game here with them getting a 2-2 draw at Tottenham. But we played quite well, and we may have been ahead at half-time, but it was just a bit unfortunate for us.
You had to come out and attack them, of course.
Yes, and I think we did it quite well up until they scored, and then they seemed to get a lot more confident.
You'd be a bit sad at giving away a goal from a dead ball situation, I presume.
Oh, sure, yeah. We're sad at giving away any goals, really. But dead ball situations, there's a lot of goals scored from dead ball situations these days.
Who did you feel played particularly well for Spurs?
I thought we played quite well as a team, really. The defence played quite well, and also the forwards. But it just wasn't our night, I don't think. Our chances just didn't go in.
I thought that young Mick McGrath had a tremendous game.
Well, he's done well this season, and he's come on very well, and he's one for the future, I think.
Did you feel over the two games that there is an individual ability about Feyenoord that's lacking? I mean, not necessarily in Spurs, but in British football in general.
Well, definitely. I think that the continental football is much more attractive, I think, to play. I think it's because the English teams have to play so many more games than the continental teams, and so you kind of play a lot more stereotype football, I think.
I mean, when you look at players like Christensen and De Jong taking players on in the box, those kind of skills we don't see very much in English football.
Yeah, this is true, but I still think that they're allowed to play a bit more over here, and rather than what we are in England.
But in fact, they showed it to the effect of scoring 4 goals against you over 2 games.
Well, this is true, but we got 2, sorry, but we should have had a couple more tonight, really.
What about the incidents off the field? How aware of them were you?
Only at half-time, really. We were told about it at half-time, and we were very disappointed, really, to find that 1 or 2 of our fans were being a bit naughty. So
You, in fact, went over after half-time to try and quieten them down.
Yes, we went to the troubled spot and tried to, calm the people down, but they seemed to be a bit better after that.
You could really do without it, couldn't you?
Oh, definitely.
And of course, this isn't the end of the season for you, Martin. You've now got England games ahead of you.
Yes, I'm off to join the England party in Sofia.
And what about that?
Well, there'll be difficult games, but I'm sure we'll do our best.
You've had a long season.
Yes, they're always long, it seems. We seem to be in cups right to the end of the season with Tottenham, and then these England tours come at the end.
Well, it's been disappointing for you here, but I hope that things work out well for you on the rest of the tour now.
Thank you.
Well, that just about wraps up our story from Rotterdam. A night of disappointment for Tottenham on and off the field, a night of jubilation for Feyenoord, and clearly they are going to be a power next season in the European Cup. I hope that you've enjoyed the highlights of the game. For now, from all of us here in Rotterdam, good night.